Minister for Road Transport and Highways, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, Padma Vibhushan, Dr. Raghunath Mashalkar, Professor Madhusudanan Penna, Vice Chancellor, Kavi Kurukulavara, Kalidas Sanskrit University, Swami Vijnananandiji, Founder and President of World Hindu Congress, Mr. T.S. Bahel, who took all the pain of organizing this entire event, and Arunan, Project Director for Mangalyan, and friends and colleagues. Somebody was telling, come from a very upper middle class or lower middle class family, and started learning my schooling only in my mother tongue, not in English. And then I happened to stand with good grades in the engineering. Later, I got admission in Princeton University, one of the Ivy League universities of the world. And I could certainly complete the master's degree in a record time of 10 months. I don't think that record is ever broken, even today. And then, based on my advice I received from Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, I came back to India and started working on the propulsion systems, particularly the liquid propulsion systems. I had to struggle through. During those times, ISRO and today's ISRO are totally different. When I started my ISRO career, we were only 26 people. Today we are about 26,000 engineers working in ISRO. So I have gone through the mill, and I was fortunate to work with the stalwarts of space research. Dr. Vikram Sarabhai from 66 to 71. Then from 71 to 82, Dr. Satish Dhawan. Then 82 to 93, Professor U.R. Rao. And then another 5 years in absolute darkness with a fabricated spy case. So in my total career, about 30 years, 33 years to be exact, with the three chairmen ISRO who were responsible for today's ISRO, were the architects of today's ISRO, and who were responsible for all the success of ISRO, including the SLV-3, ASLV, PSLV, GSLV, etc. I was fortunate to work and associate with them in close collaboration. And another 27 years, I was working on a legal battle to prove my innocence. You will find it very interesting, though somebody made some mention about it. Actually, I was fighting two mighty governments. One is Government of India, another one is the state government. Both were ruled by the same party, so I could not expect any political advantage. They both were singing the same song. But due to the grace of God, as well as the truth was on my side, I could win over the battle. But it took a long time. Those long time were really, according to me, unproductive to me. But I became an unqualified lawyer in the process of understanding what is law and what is the whole process about. I think if I start talking about the struggle I went through, it will take a long time. So I will simply say that it was concluded that it is a fabricated case, not once, but twice by the Supreme Court of India. And it was also concluded that it is some kind of a conspiracy. So finally they appointed a subcommittee headed by, again, a retired Supreme Court judge, who in turn concluded and listed some 18 police and IB officers as suspected accused. And the case is finally now pending. They have got some anticipatory bail. So CBI is now trying to sort out that issue. So in other words, as far as I am concerned, I have finished my job. I have brought those people who were supposedly responsible for this fabrication are now facing the law. I think that my job is over. Now the court has to take care what kind of punishment, to whom and how they will have to give. Now coming back to what we did during those achievement period is we could foresee that, at least I could foresee that there is a need for a liquid propulsion system. When we were struggling with solid propulsions, when we started our career, there was the 3-inch diameter rocket, 5 kg of propellant. My colleague sitting here, Majumdar, he must be probably telling how he suffered to bring this 3-inch solid propellant to something like 2.5 tons, not 2.5 tons, 125 tons propellants. So today we are actually holding in solids propellants which are weighing close to 200 tons. We are second in the world, or the only person who was marginally above us is USA. And we are, in other words, more than China, France, and UK, and everybody. So that is the situation in solids. But liquids, we had nothing. We didn't have anything. We started from scratch. So we started with a 600 kg liquid engine, 600 kg thrust. You know, it's less than a ton, half a ton, close to half a ton. We grew to 60 tons, which is the bypass engine, which was a joint development between ourselves and France. This was way back in 1974. But it took so many years before we gave some kind of an implementation for that program. So in the year 1994, we launched the first PSLV. And there, along with that, I was actually I had a lot of responsibilities, which included, I was the project director for the Vikas engine, as a project director for the cryogenic systems, project director for the second and fourth stages of PSLV, GSLV, then associate project director for GSLV, associate project, etc., etc. I don't want to. Now, I was, in other words, holding some key positions in almost all these rocket development areas. And so I was removed just by some gimmick or some magic from that position overnight. Of course, they didn't find the reason to raid my house, to raid my office, to search my office. They simply picked me up, and then I was arrested, under arrest. The DIG who wanted to talk to me on certain questions declared after 24 hours, I was under arrest. Very funny, I was charged under the Official Secrets Act of 1923. When the Europeans got that law in order to prevent the Indians from making moves for the freedom, the same law, even now, don't laugh at me, is even now available in our country to charge the Official Secrets Act. So this is a situation. So we were having some kind of a fight in the system. System needs some kind of a correction. Then came the film, and then the whole thing came to the picture. So, this is a long and short story of myself. Afterwards, I didn't have much of interest in looking at what is needed, or whether the ISRO is going in the right direction, wrong direction, good direction, bad direction, etc. Because you lose interest having worked for so long and then got the reward for. Among that, of course, the Padma Bhushan reward gave me a moral booster. Now I am getting a reward in the name of one of the great rishis. Incidentally, I just want to point out here, we were actually proud of a lot of our rishis. As Raghunath was mentioning, we had the knowledge, not only on turmeric, but so many medicinal values. And the Kottakkal Aryavaidya what he was referring to, is a pioneer in running in Kerala. Not only in medicine, but also in various areas, certain mysteries which are living with respect to our knowledge in metallurgy, our knowledge in certain the structures, temple structures, for example, if you take, really it's mystifying. Now, in that context, I was really happy, and I should thank the organizers, Hindu Research Foundation and Maitri Parivar Sanastha, for having arranged this organization and also giving me the award of Bharadwaj award to me. So I should, first of all, let me thank from the bottom of my heart, my sincere thanks for this organization. So now, incidentally, let me tell you, we in ISRO named, as early as 1975, our first satellite after Aryabhat. And the second satellite by Bhaskaracharya. And the credit goes to Dr. U.R. Rao, who was the pioneer, who was the project director for the satellite organizations. But I did in my own little scale, named the Vikas engine. Everybody knew that as a Vikas engine. But actually what I named it, but I have in my mind, it is Vikram V. Sarabhai, the present rishi of today's rocketry. So with this briefing, I just want to thank particularly Mr. Bahal, who had taken the pain of organizing this function. I mean, of course, as I said, he had some tough time in convincing me about all these things. But he was, I don't think that he ever became tired. He was very persuasive. He himself is an inspiration. So by talking to him, you get the inspiration. So I was happy. And Mr. Nitin Gadkari, I'm seeing him for the first time. I'm not a politician, but I just say, you have used so many words about him. According to me, he is a silent contributor to the entire roadways in this country. It is changing the history of India, infrastructure development. See, this Autobahn were brought by Adolf Hitler as early as 1943. We were very late. But I'm seeing amazing, it's really amazing. What prevented us from doing this long back, nobody knows. I don't know. At least I don't know. But after he came, I'm sure he doesn't talk. I don't find him in the newspapers. Sometimes I get to know so many kilometers per day. And, I said, amidst so many ministries, so many things we are talking about. Oh, here is a silent spectator, silent contributor. He doesn't speak. And it was a news to me to note that he represents this constituency. Actually, this constituency should be proud of having him as its member, and I am sure that he will do a lot of things for this country, particularly. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And so with this, I once again thank the Hindu Research Foundation and World Hindu Congress and Swamiji for all these things. So thank you so much, and I will cherish this moment ever in my life. Thank you.